Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Ladies and gentlemen, on October 1st, 1975, Muhammad Ali defeated Smoking Joe Frazier at the Thrilla in Manila. Beat him cold, but it was autumn, the cold season. As Smoking Joe Frazier was making his grand exit, I was making my grand entrance. And in this corner, Cinique. I was named a name with no apparent meaning. Some of you and many other people have asked, where did your name come from? What does it mean? Honestly, I cannot say. However, I have sought the meaning to this elusive enigma for many moons, but the answer has eluded me. I wanted to have an educated answer to give everyone, but I just couldn't. However, similar to many of you, I am called by many names, like father, or son, brother, coach, barber, graduate, or soldier. Or as my wife would say, mi amor, or cholo, which is Spanish for country boy. Like I need to be reminded. My two brothers and I were raised on a farm by a single mom. My two grandparents on my mother's side both died before I could remember who they were. I was around 3 or 4 at the time. Both the grandparents on my father's side both died before I wanted to know who they were. And that's all I have to say about that. We were raised in a robust country setting. We had about 10 acres of land, 2-story house with a basement, carport. We had cows, pigs, chickens, dogs. We had cherry trees, peach trees, apple trees, pear trees, grapevines, blackberry, you name it, we had it. It was a cornucopia of delights. As a kid, I stayed outside all day. On January 1st, 1984, a federal mandate broke up Ma Bell. On January 18th, 1984, the Mitsumite coal mine in Japan exploded, killing 83 people. 83. Come to think of it, 83 was the exact number I wore while playing free safety for my varsity high school football team. 83 was also the number that the minimum number that I decided that I wanted to live to see. My motto is, if someone wrote a book about me, would anyone want to read it? I'm confident that you all would enjoy reading my book. But what I remember most about 1984 wasn't the deregulation of the telecommunications monopoly or a coal mine explosion. It was the year the place I always knew as home was no more. Shortly after Christmas, while I was in school, trying my hardest not to pay attention, the home we knew had some sort of malfunction. There was a gas leak, the house exploded. Not burned down, exploded. So when I got home from school, there was nothing left but a huge crater in the ground, 2 fire trucks, one group of bewildered looking people, and no, not a partridge in a pear tree, just smoking brick and debris. 84 was the year we lost the farm, and that was what I remember most about 1984. It was cold. In the summer of '89, I entered high school. I wrestled, ran track, and played football, as I mentioned. But it also was the year that I lost control, and I wouldn't regain control until '91. Don't ask me what happened. Everything moved so fast, it all was a blur. In the summer of '91, I came to a critical juncture in my life where I had to make a decision. I was threatened to flunk out of school, so I had to decide on which way I wanted to go with my life. It was at that point that I buckled down and was very persnickety about what I was going to do. So I analyzed current trends, my current situation, and mapped out a plan for my life. That's when I chose telecommunications as a way to go. Then I realized that technology was our future. So I joined the Army in '95. Now 1991 is usually considered the end of the Cold War. And as I was a sophomore threatening to become a junior, on the 13th of June in '91, a spectator was killed by lightning while at the U.S. Open. As they were being filled with light, I was being enlightened. As I entered the service, I signed up for airborne operations, and I chose to jump out of perfectly good airplanes. All for a measly $150 a month. Not one of my better decisions, but soldiers don't get paid what they're worth. On my very first jump, I experienced the pinnacles of terror and the pinnacle of peace. The military helped me obtain two of the most valuable things of my life. The first was not a value that you keep per se, it was the value of something I lost. I lost my fear of death. The second, the other valuable commodity that I obtained was my lovely wife and my ensuing family. Of course, I have many more things to say and a lot more stories to tell, but unfortunately, you and I have ran out of time. So if there's one thing I could have you guys take away from this that I've learned in my life, or that I want you to understand about me, is that it's cold no more. Thank you.